Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel Y.O.B. Today, I'm going to have a discussion about why I think Denis Villeneuve shouldn't direct James Bond. Now, Denis Villeneuve is a famous director from France. I believe he's born from France. He has directed a lot of films. He directed Sicario, Arrival, Prisoners, the Dune series, Blade Runner 2049. Let's see what else. Enemy. Yeah, he has a lot of films in his catalog. Most relevant being Enemy, Prisoners, Arrival, Sicario, Blade Runner 2049, Dune Part 2. Me personally, I think he's an overrated director. I really do think he's an overrated director. I would have rather Christopher Nolan direct this film. I did not like his work on Dune, the series part 1 and 2. I felt like his directing is very flat, and it's like he doesn't direct actors like in a engaging way. His storytelling is minimal. It's very it's French artwork is beautiful, but there's a lot of French artwork that's pretentious and just shallow and just kind of like, oh, black and white teacup, someone smoking, staring at teacup, thinking of life, the end. And it's like, okay, maybe it's just someone that's deep, but it's just like generally speaking, that's a great example of pretentious. And like, maybe if you shoot it in a way that shows something. But it's like, that's the thing, it's like his cinematography is flat, it's very boring, and his storytelling is very flat and very boring. It's just drawn, stretched out. That's what most of the time he does. Like Blade Runner 2049, I enjoyed it more watching it at home because I think it is more of a ambient film to watch, like something you have in the background or something you watch, where it's not a theatrical experience film. It's very like, it's a home movie kind of film, you know. And they're making a Blade Runner TV show soon, so I mean, I think Blade Runner is a better experience at home, but I don't necessarily think it has to be. I think you can make a Blade Runner film that's engaging and fun to watch, I do like Blade Runner 2049 when I saw it at home, but I still think the movie has issues with pacing. I think that the movie is, and I think I think his movies that I like the best have the best leads. Like Ryan Gosling really elevates the film for me. Like, I think his performance is just great. I think he really makes the film enjoyable to watch. I do not like the Sicario films. I just find them very, like, the beginning is like engaging and it feels like, oh, this is gonna be a non-stop thrill ride film, but somehow he's turned like a story about like cartels, which should be like a very intense, thrilling story. He turned it into kind of like a emotionless slog of a film where it's kind of like forgettable. It's just like mentally, I just can't latch onto it. Yes, there's some good shots in it, but it's just, I don't know. It's just something, just story wise and just the energy in it. It's just it's no urgency. It's just kind of like very just slow, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that. Arrival, very overrated film in my opinion. I don't know why everyone acts like that movie's like great. I don't really know a lot of people that say they watch the movie and say it's great. It's just like, it's just some of these movies that get like praised that it's like, if you talk to regular people, it's like, have you seen this film? They'll be like, I don't know what that is. And it's like, okay, how is this movie like that and that? And like, it just feels like when the critics love a film, they make it like, oh yeah, the audience loves it too. It's just like, and I think honestly, the critics are paid off shills and I think the audience are very low IQ, to be honest. So it's like we really don't get any genuine reviews, and like authentic takes anymore, especially online and YouTube and all that. I've never seen Enemy, his film, The Enemy. I'd never seen that. I think that you know maybe I should check that out. I've seen trailers for it and it seemed kind of interesting, but I don't know. I never got around to checking it out. That was from 2013, I believe. Another film from 2013, Prisoners. I did watch that. I did enjoy that up until the ending. The ending of it is like what? It's just like because it feels like it's building up to like something like a conspiracy or something bigger. And it's just like kind of just ends and it's like wait what? And it's just like I don't like that. I don't like movies make you so invested and then at the end it's just like what? Yeah, And another thing is that the whole film was jam packed with great actors. That's another thing you're dealing with. Like everybody in it was a great actor. So it's like but um, yeah. I'm trying to think. Well, then he has done the Doom movies, and which came out of Dune 2021, and then Dune Part 2 to 2024. Um, I mean, I really, the Dune one, I enjoyed, like, the beginning of it, for the aesthetic and stuff. But then it's just this, again, I think they took out a lot of Frank Herbert's story, like, there's no, like, you don't show at all any of the Spacing Guild, which is just bizarre to me. He markets Zendaya throughout the whole movie, and he like builds Chani up just because Zendaya is playing her, only because Zendaya is playing her as this more significant character, what she was in the books, and just like she's in all these trailers, she's constantly pushed in our face. You watch the movie, she's barely in the movie, so it's literally just like a marketing ploy for Zendaya, and it's just kind of showing you like the corporate mindset of how this film was made. It was not made with Dune, like like being like with the love of Dune in mind. It's done in a way that's like, okay, how do we make money off of this? Let's because it just felt like there's less, like they didn't want to get too weird with the story. It felt like it was like let's not get too weird to have Spacing Guild and show the darker parts of the book. Let's make this kind of like Game of Thrones light. And kind of a mature version of Star Wars. That's what a lot of people are saying. It's like Star Wars. I'm like, Dune is not. I mean, George Lucas took inspiration from Dune, Frank Herbert's Dune, to make Star Wars, but it's like I don't think we have to make it like Star Wars. It doesn't have to be. It's just be creative. You shouldn't be thinking about comparing your product to that. But no, I don't know. It's just the movie to me just felt very boring. Timothy Chalamet is not that great in it. He's a good actor in certain roles. I think when he's playing smaller characters, more indie kind of films, he's better in stuff like that. Like I love him in Bones and all. He did this movie The King, and I thought that was good. He was good in that. He's getting certain roles, but when you put him in like these kind of roles, these fantastical, where you kind of have to be like eccentric and kind of, you really need some star power for certain movies like this. It's just like he just doesn't have it. He just doesn't have that kind of screen presence. Like he's just more a small indie film kind of screen presence, And there's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has their niche, So it's like But that's didn't even his film catalog, but so he's been, I guess, chosen to direct the new James Bond film, and I really am disappointed with that. I really do not want to see him direct a James Bond film. Like I'm just kind of over his films. Like I don't know why this man is getting all these big blockbusters, and he was even saying this to Christopher Nolan, like they're both equals. I'm like, dude. Denis Villeneuve has not made anything like Christopher Nolan. Christopher Nolan has made like cultural like banger films. Okay, like Interstellar. Okay, cultural phenomenon. America pop culture phenomenon film. Dark Knight. It was shot in Chicago. I was a kid walking through Chicago, seeing the roads blocked off when that movie was being filmed. And then I saw it in theaters where there was actually blockbusters lines around the street. That movie was a big phenomenon. The Dark Knight. I was there when it first released. I saw it day one. That movie is crazy. Seeing that scenes in that movie, that were like scenes you see in the city. Like there's places that you recognize in the movie. Like, oh, I've been there before. Which is really tripped out. Denis Villeneuve has never reached that kind of level of relevance in pop culture. You know, and some of the movies that he has that kind of relevance. I don't know, like Arrival to me. You ask a bunch of people on the street and say, "Have you seen Arrival?" Yes, you probably have some people say, "Yeah, I've seen it." But I'm telling you, you have a lot of people say, "I don't know what you're talking about." If you tell people a Dark Knight, I'm telling you, you're gonna have a lot of people. Even if they've not seen, they know what it is. If they you see Dark Knight, do you know about the Dark Knight? Everybody's gonna tell you like, yeah, I know about Dark Knight. Oh, Dark Knight is so relevant, dude. You know, and then yeah, like I just found the Doom movies boring. Like it was just these movies should have been way more exciting, way more compelling, way more just immersive. Like just where you lose yourself in it. It's just like I love the 1980s Doom. I forget the director's name. I think it's like David. Let me let me look it up. His name was David Lynch. That directed the Dune from the 1980s. Yeah, I like his Dune more than the new Dune films because I think that they're way more bizarre. I like the costumes. It's just a better film than Denis Villeneuve's Dune. I think it's just his movies are boring. I don't know. And the audience are so caught up in hype. If a movie trailer keeps saying this is a big epic, you need to see a big epic, and then everyone else goes out and says the same thing. People are just going to repeat, regurgitate everything they hear. They're not going to say their own. You're not going to hear different opinions. Like and it's just like, and I really do think the movie is just sold off of like Timothy Charlemagne and Zendaya, and their star power, and that's about it. And it's just like they already have a huge fan base of people that like them, so they're just gonna like the movie for staring at them. That's it. It's just like, okay, well, I don't really like them, and this movie's not that good. So what do we get? The people who actually are not like cult worshippers of like actors that don't give a fuck about you. What about us that want to just get good movies? But yeah. Let me see something. I can't believe this. Like, this is the most idiotic shit that I'm hearing right now. It's getting to the point. It's just like, see, this is what I'm saying. This is why they made Dune the way they did. They just put Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya, two of these actors that already have like cult following of young kids that like them, and just basically make the movie like, oh, this is based on just these actors rather than the movie. It's just like they like. I looked it up on Google. Tom Holland playing 007. While there's no official confirmation, Tom Holland is reportedly among the actors being considered to play the next James Bond, according to Variety. And then it goes on to say, Amazon MGM Studios now in control of the franchise is reportedly looking for a younger actor, and Tom Holland, along with Jacob Lordy and Harris Dickinson, is said to be in their short list. Some fans have expressed reservations about Tom Holland due to his relatively young age and height. The next Bond film is slated to release in 2008 with Denis Villeneuve directing, which is stupid. I don't want Denis Villeneuve directing. And then it's like, we're gonna get Tom fucking Holland. We're gonna get Tom Holland. This twerp. This is America. This is what modern masculinity looks like. This dude looks like a 5-year-old. We come from Sean Connery, Roger Moore, George Lazenby, Pierce Brosnan, Timothy Dalton, Daniel Craig. These guys look like gritty grown men that are like in their late 30s, mid 40s, to literally a little child. And then they have pictures of him in tuxedos, making them thinking like, okay, because you put someone in a tuxedo, that makes them look like they should play Jump the Level 7. He just looks like a child wearing a fucking tuxedo. This is ridiculous, man. This is the same problem they did with the Uncharted film. Didn't he play Nathan Drake in Uncharted? And look at that movie bombed. Nobody wants to see because it's a young actor doesn't mean okay that's gonna make us money. But that's not what they're probably saying. They're probably, well, hey, look at the Dune. I made money. It's just like, and then my thing is, I don't understand how that movie made money. The movie's so boring. It's like the audience is just so zombified. Like if they tell you a movie's good, these people go watch it. It's like the people that watch. Look how much. Dude, for example, look how many people want to go see Minecraft. See, that's why these corporations they move the way they do is because they're like shit. We don't have to make quality. We just need to find a system in which these people will get excited to see something. Right now, that's why you're seeing a lot of video game movies coming out. Not because it's just a good stories. These are good stories, and actually they realize that there's a lot of potential in video games. No, they realize hey, people are into video games. That makes money. We're making a lot of money in the industry right now anyway. Because they're not even trying to make good films with these. Like that fucking movie, Five Nights at Freddy. Only people like that movie are people that play the game. But if you're a person that watches movies and doesn't care about that game, you're gonna watch it and be like, okay, this is stupid. But you think the corporations are listening to people that are like, this is not a good movie. This is like just a movie that's literally just made for people that are like, hey, I play a game. That's the thing from the game. I like it because it's the thing from the game. They don't even, and they won't. That'll be like the only movie they watch that year. While the film industry is dying, and that's why we're not getting like good cinema anymore. We're just getting like just the sensitive overload nonsense now. Oh my god, it's just, and now we're just that's why they're considering Tom Holland. Tom Holland should never even been. I'm telling you, if that was back in the 90s, 80s, 70s, they would never even thought of someone like Tom Holland playing James Bond. That would be like such an idiotic thing. They'd be like, what? This like back in the 80s, say Marty McFly should play 007. Everyone would have been like, what? That doesn't make any sense. And we're talking the 80s when it was like Roger Moore and he was pretty much playing like, Austin Powers, just a goofball 007, So it's like, oh my god, bro. It's just like, I feel like I'm losing my mind. It's just like, what? It's just frustrating because not only I'm getting Denis Villeneuve directing James Bond, which is like not a good choice. I don't want to see another Denis Villeneuve film. I'm tired of Denis Villeneuve. Let him direct small films. I thought he was gonna direct something smaller. It's like now he's gonna direct 007? Why? And due to the audience just being zombies, it's good. It's like, dude, you guys. But then you guys, same people turn around and say Megalopolis sucks. It's like, oh my god, but Dune is great. It's like, but Megalopolis is like a good creative film made by a legendary auteur director, Francis Ford Coppola. And I mean, even like the movie Predator. You know, the newer one, the one that where they're on stuck on an island, like a planet, and it was like like seven humans, five humans that were stuck on a planet or something, and there was like a predator planet, like a hunting ground. Like I thought that movie was good. The audience thought it was bad, and they bombed, and I was like, really? Why? I thought it was really good, but then when Prey comes out, everyone's this is good, solid film. It's like the one the Predator movie that came out like a while ago, directed by Robert Rodriguez. That one was bad to everybody, but Prey, that movie is good. It's a Predator film. That's what I'm saying, bro. It's like the audience is so dumb. The audience is so dumb. And the critics are just so. They're shills because they get paid to go watch movies. So it's like, we're not. That's why I'm just like. I feel like I'm not getting anything. And a lot of people that love cinema are not getting anything. You know? Oh my god. It's just so fucking frustrating. Oh my god. The audience is really dumb. And the thing is, like, films are becoming soulless cash grabs. For example, Superman. Like it's just like Superman. The first trailer for Superman was so good. Because it looked emotional, it looked epic, it looked serious. Yes, you can have humor in superhero movies, but this shouldn't just be so much humor where it starts to feel like ridiculous. Whereas, like, and some people might argue, well, hey, Christopher Reeves was pretty silly, but it's like that was the type of filmmaking that was done in general in that time period. Okay, it was just like that was just more common to see films like that. It was more digestible to see something like that. It's just that's how films were made back then. Where it's just we're kind of past that now. Where it's like and it's not done in a way that's like likable. It's done in a way that's lazy and just hey, that's just how James Gunn directs all his films. That all his films are like that. So it's not like oh he's just doing this specifically because he's shouting out Christopher Reeve Superman. Don't give me that nonsense. Okay, he's doing it because that's how he directs. He's lazy. He's just like Taika Waititi. These directors literally don't even try. But the audience are just like they're so brain dead. They're just like, yeah, that's great. It's bright, laugher, haha. But even they're getting tired of the jokes. It used to be where they get cast under spell. When anything bright and shiny shows up and laughs, makes a laugh, they'll just love it. But even that gimmick has been done so much that now the audience is even getting tired of it. But they're still slow. They're still going to watch movies like Minecraft or saying this is good. So it's just like, oh my god. And I even had people on when I criticized Rebel Moon, and everybody knows that movie was bad. Everybody agreed that movie was bad, the critics and the audience. But you still have people, idiots online, hating me for talking about how bad Rebel Moon was. Because you just got these cult members who like anything that certain directors make at some point. It's just like, okay, why are you doing that? You don't know the director. See, this is like this new era of like people just worship everybody. People worship politicians. People worship directors. People worship singers. People worship everything. It's just like talk about we're in an era of idol worship. Like it's like the golden calf shit, straight up. Like people are weak minded. Like and that comes from an extreme lack of intellectual integrity, where it's just you're dependent on someone else to be your overlord and speak for you because you can't think for yourself. Oh my god. And I mean, James Bond is already being changed in video games. James Bond's already being changed in video games to be younger, which I'm kind of. That's one thing I didn't really like about the new 007 First Light trailer is that James Bond looks too nice and too friendly. He looks like some goddamn you know, like someone you see at like Best Buy or something. Like it's like some guy will come, hi, how you doing? Do you need do you need some help? Like here, give me one. I'll show you. But yeah, he just doesn't have the face for 007. In my opinion, his face looks very like young. And it's just like I don't know, like this doesn't look. I don't know. Everything is just so like they don't want to be offensive anymore, and it's just like And we're in a world where everything is offensive now. It's just like more offensive than it used to be. It's just like I don't know why Hollywood is trying to act like we need to not be, because they're just playing by the same, like, I don't know. It's just like I don't think you should change 007's look. Like he should look more mature. Like he shouldn't look like a young kid. I just don't think that's a good choice. I think that's just a bizarre, weird choice. We don't need those of them to be a young kid. Oh my god, it just shows like they don't even care anymore, man. That's what it feels like. I'm really disappointed by the choice for Didn't Even Knew. I think Christopher Nolan would have been a better director. For this, I really was rooting for seeing a Christopher Nolan James Bond movie because I love Christopher Nolan, and I think after Tenet, the way he directed Tenet, I would have loved to see him direct a James Bond movie, and unfortunately, I don't know if that's ever gonna happen. But now I have to watch David Do direct another movie that's just like a big franchise. It's like, can we just get new directors or someone who has like a better like record, not fucking David New, please. It's just like I'm tired of seeing. It's just it feels like we only have the same actors playing everything. Pedro Pascal, Tatum Charmaine. It's just like Denis Villeneuve, Taika Waititi. It's just like I don't want to see these same people doing the same like doing work in Hollywood. It's like, can we get people other visionaries? But there's no need to complain about it and crying because it's like he's gonna direct it. All we can hope for is that he makes a good James Bond film either way. And I mean he has potential of making good films. Like I said before, I watched Blade Runner at home and I actually enjoyed it more than I watched it in the theater. So, you know, we'll see, man. I'm just not really enthusiastic about this decision. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you are excited, if you're not excited, let me know in the comments. As always, may the force be with you. Peace and out.